Hello, my friends, and welcome back. We are here with playoffs in the Pluto Cup Overwatch tournament. My name's Bull Skunk alongside Mana Class. We're going to start off in the quarterfinals as we have People Hat taking on the Crushers.
Yeah, and of course, both these teams played earlier today in their group stages, their respective different groups, and therefore got the seeding that they got here. That's why they have to play against each other. And the Pluto Cup, I mean, we've seen it happen. It's just a lot of fun people playing a lot of fun teams together with catchy names, with groovy tunes, and with a lot of fun heroes.
Absolutely. It's been a good day all around. Excited to get into the playoff bracket of it all. As we take a look at our rosters, a little bit different lineup than we saw from Peepo Hat, at least in their last group stage, Matt. So we're not going to get Hita or Cake Luffy this time around. And so we're going to have Breezy and Speedy Monkey heading up the team in the tank department with Nader and Infinity putting the hurt down here for Peepo Hat. Mazamil and Dixie keeping the team alive.
Yeah, and of course, on the other side, the Crushers, nothing changed. It's the same roster we saw earlier today. Gabrielle, not so cool one, Flashfire, Virtual Doge, and Crab and Mellow, just all the way through. Same six stack. They're even so coordinated. They got that same profile picture in the lobby. That's what you like to see. You know, you don't play that. They've never really played it together as a unit, and now they're already shown teamwork by having the same player icon. That's promising.
It's promising indeed. When you bring a random group together, you hope to see a little bit of cohesion, and it's having the same icon is a good start. You at least give that look of a unified squad. We'll see if we'll see if that translates into King's Row, which will be our map here for today. Of course, this is a best of one series throughout the day. We will head to Elijong Tower for a single round tiebreaker if necessary. But first things first, we're going to jolly old England.
Yeah, Kings Row. It's the map we always see, but this time the big teams actually didn't get to pick it. It was picked for them, so they might actually be happy about that. Or with the current iterations that we've been going through in the meta game, some players might not be happy with Kings Row at all because it's very different, just in terms of what's good right now, what's good to run. And when you have such a ragtag team of groups together, you don't actually know what they prefer playing. Because we always say, if rank doesn't matter and if meta doesn't matter in ranked, then what if you put a lot of players from a lot of different ranks just in a lot of fun combinations together, and what is their perspective on how they play the game? And that's what we're going to see today. Like, how chaotic will it be, or how coherent will it be? And that's what we like to do.
I like to see the chaos. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun to watch. We are on the live patch, I think is worth noting as we start talking about compositions. And we saw some, a lot of Reinhardt Zarya earlier. King's Row would be a good place to bring that out again. Just go classic, bring out your traditional brawl. Go smash some faces with a hammer. It's always a good time.
Look, it's such a comfort pick from everybody. If you've played Overwatch from the start, Reinhardt Zarya is like one of the most iconic tank duos out there. Maybe Winston Diva can sort of challenge it, but it's not the same. It hasn't had as much play time. Reinhardt Zarya is just the way to go, but you gotta watch out for that pesky Roadhog because those hooks and that new damage, it is delightful to play with, but really terrifying to play against if you got a good one on the other side. And of course, when we look at both of these teams, we saw Hida earlier doing a very good job for People Had, and now Speedy Monkey's coming in on that off tank role. Got to show up to do the same thing here.
I'll be keeping an eye on Breezy, see if Speedy Monkey can do as good a job at supporting the main tank. Breezy, one of the lower SR players in the lobby, though you wouldn't be able to tell by the gameplay we saw earlier. We'll see if they can keep up the trend. And this is, I love this tournament. This is a tournament just to reward the fans, just to give back to the people, give everybody a chance to come in and compete in a tournament setting. It's may have the slap together kind of teams, very a bit random. Everybody's just kind of entered as either single or duos. But you put everybody in a tournament feel, it raises the competition. It raises the stakes just enough to give it that excitement.
Yeah, exactly. And when we go into this map of Kings Row, we know the players know it. We know you know it. We know it because it's Kings Row. It's everything you ever want in a map in a lot of ways. And especially when you then run the Reinhardt Zarya, like you said, it's a comfort pick for everybody. It's something that's been very good lately, or at least it's been run more lately because of the way that the meta's been evolving. And loading into this map, we are expecting at least one of these teams to run that. Like you can't not run it on King's Row in the current balance stage, right?
Well, we'll see. If the hog comes out, he can make short work of a Rhine shield, and it can be very difficult. It wouldn't surprise me to see teams swap to an off tank style meta. You just duo off tanks. But
Yeah.
with 10 seconds left to change their mind, it does look like we're getting some Rhine Zarya out of the defense of People Hat.
Yeah, very much so. And of course, it is all about what you pair it with, and it looks like we're going to be seeing that Ana Lucio, which especially that Lucio is going to be so important to help Breezy get in and out of the position that they want to be in. Because Reinhardt, it's not just a shield bot, people. You want to be able to swing that hammer, get the fire strikes in, get up and personal with the enemy team, and that Lucio can really give you the advantage to actually get on top of them, to get away from them if needed, and it's just an all-round nice tool to have. So far on the attack, they are looking sort of similar in terms of at least the tank combo. They might switch it up because they see what the enemy is running. But it's all about when those doors open, right? That's all we're gonna see. At least we know that Not So Cool one likely gonna just take a pot shot on that Widowmaker. Nope, not even gonna try it. Gotta go with the Mei.
Now, looks like we're going to get dueling Ice Queens here in the land of fish and chips. Somber coming out from Gabriel. Did a little early scouting. Going up to the high ground, it seems. Guessing to be looking for one of those supports to try to hack up, perhaps even the Mei. Hacking that Mei up would be a good start. Deny any walls. If she can't ice block, she becomes a bit of an ult battery.
I like this approach so far. I mean, don't take it hard, don't take it slow. Just take it at a normal pace. Walk in there when you can. They got the lead from that Sombra. It gives you all the info, and now they know that they can go in.
Oh, but Crusher's trying to loop around through Hotel, lose the Somber and the Reinhardt along the way. You see Speed Monkey is at 100 charge, chasing Virtual Doge all the way out of the hotel. You're not welcome in this hotel. Give me your key back.
Yeah, honestly, just they probably didn't pay their bill. Like, honestly, if you're gonna check into a hotel, at least have your credit card linked to it, guys. You don't get the security for them. You don't have to pay straight away. But at least Gabriel is gonna go down to another fire strike here from Breezy, probably hit by a nade of the Zarya energy grenade, and then taken out. And this defense so far is doing pretty good. They don't want to go too aggressive. They don't want to go too defensive. And you can just see they can run away and run back into that attack whenever they want to. Dixie's speed boost so far coming in clutch.
People had definitely doing a good job of the push and pull, taking the ground that is given to them. Oh, but the three-man Deadeye from the high ground. People had overstayed their welcome, and people had Not So Cool one there with a 3K Deadeye to unlock point A.
Yeah, so far it's been a bit of a back and forth, but without any ultimates really needing to be expended outside of maybe Not So Cool one's Deadeye. It's been a very timid game so far. Not really a lot of big plays being made, not just the teams running at each other and someone dying, and then it just snowballs from there. Neither team really feeling the need to use much more from an ult. There's the Graviton from the defense.
Paired with the Deadeye. I think the Deadeye just whittled down the shield enough so that Nader could then follow up with the Peacekeeper, find a 3K of his own. The McCrees showing up here on King's Row, bringing a bit of southern flair here to England.
I mean, honestly, it's just the classic King's Row Archway hold. They're managing to do it, and with that Graviton and that Nano boost, they're definitely on a great path to start holding it for a little bit more. They might have overinvested slightly, though, because there's still so much online here for the other side, and there's a rally already to start the fight off, but Blizzard!
Yeah, People Hat's Blizzard freezing up several members. 3, I believe. Gabriel was able to escape at the tank line. Not so lucky. Nader chasing him down, and People Hat claiming control and maintaining this big hold at the archway. Looks like we're going to have... Still got some tank ultimates online for Crushers to work with as they come back into this thing, though. Duplicate and a Nano boost as well.
Yeah, nice flank. I like seeing this. I like teams not being baited by just keep walking through the archway. The Maywall will still wall a few off, but they're quite far away. The speed boost wasn't helping enough. Dixie couldn't help it. There's a sound barrier to help them against the Graph, but it's not going to be enough.
No, the Grav caught 4. With the big ante into the mix. They're eventually able to take him down despite the nice Maywall to initiate the fight. Crushers, well, they're going to keep this card a rolling. Nice exit kill. As Gabriel lands the Icicle in duplicate form.
A lot of people underestimate how satisfying it is to hit people in the head with icicles, but it's the best. Like as a main, I will say it's the best. It's especially amazing when you see that Widowmaker on the other side of the map. You see her like, you know, in yeah, you see her on the other side of the map. You think like, ah, that Widowmaker. She just gotta stop scoping in on my team. And you just right click her in the head from across the map because you have no damage fall off. It's so amazing.
Our producer chiming in with some amazing puns, and Nader chiming in with another 3-man Deadeye. He says, not so cool one. You're not the only one who can kill half the team with a single press of the Q. Crushers, well, trying to get out safely. People are chasing him down, looking for these exit kills, looking to buy even more time off the clock. Oh, but Dixie overextends. Not so cool one takes him out.
And it's like the one hero you don't want to lose at Lucio there, because they're the ones that can ferry you back if you die that far overextended. They're going to try to hold a bit further forward, though. Pretty good idea, because honestly, you don't want to lose that fight. But without your Lucio, going to be in a bit more trouble when it comes to support. We'll have Krabbe ready with that rally, and that will probably, guard the entry. But then Speedy Monkey with a graph is probably has a bit of different idea with that one.
Infinity getting the Blizzard online for People Hat as well. So a couple of big team fight winning ultimates for the defense. Will they land? Ooh, the focus evening takes down Breezy early, but both Reinhardts end up falling. The Blizzard got thrown out into the mix, but the defense holding on to that Graviton Surge. It's a 4v4 left on the cart. Anti into pack hits Krabbe. She's forced back on that Brig. Now both Zarya's coming through with the nano boost onto Speedy Monkey, gives them the edge to find the double kill and finally put an end to the assault.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going though, this fight. It's not quite over. Now the ultimates are going to come online here. Especially those tank ultimates are going to be very huge together with Gabrielle's duplicate. That would probably be the one that they want to initiate with, or at least finish a fight off with. It could cause so much trouble.
Yeah, that's a high-risk play from Flashfire and Virtual Doge to hang around, try to maintain this positioning, but they make it work. They stay alive. They survive the Deadeye from the other side, and then a 2-man Shatter comes through. Sound Barrier is out from Dixie, but it's not enough to keep Nader in the fight. Does keep Breezy up temporarily, the duplicate onto the Reinhardt, but it is canceled out before the Earth Shatter hits the ground. Nevertheless, Gabriel turns right back into the Echo form and finds a pair of kills to help push this cart into point C.
You see that ultimate investment that's necessary, though. Like, they'll only have the rally left. It's still not being used, but everything else is just dried right up. Nothing left on their side, and now good to see the ultimates come back online for defense, which is always very nice to see, is that back and forth in the ult economies. And with 1 minute 20, you kind of can't really afford to have them have that advantage for much longer.
No, this is going to take a very disciplined push from the Crushers to get this thing ed. Oh, they nearly survived the Graviton Surge. The Brig goes down just at the tail end of that ultimate. Gabriel Virtual Doge trying to get the team back in the fight with a 1-man advantage. Crushers trying to get around this last corner, but the tank line of People Hat will not be dislodged, not with that extreme force. Fortunately, Flashfire is there to provide that. Finally, get this card around that last corner, see if they can push it home.
Yeah, they might be able to, but they do lose Glue. Not so cool on there. Nader, oh, gets in spawn with 1 HP. That was so close. Now they'll be able to come back out as well. And that McCree, again, the numbers advantage will be there for the defense. And the respawn advantage too. The High Noon comes out. Will not get the duplicate, actually. Fires a bit too early.
The Blizzard was there from the other side as well. Graviton Surge does eventually get Breezy. But that is all that the offense will find. As Mazamel uses that nano boost to help keep Speedy burning through the opposition. I don't know if you guys can get back in touch here, Classy.
No,
we'll see if the Lucio can make it in.
They have the Echo looking. The Echo is in the window up top. Gabriel was ready. They're going to lose their life for it. They did touch for the overtime, though, so that will start ticking. But it's just a race to who can die first or who can die last. Nothing's going to happen on their side. Clean up from Nader's Deadeye, and that will be first round of King's Row.
Respectable push. 67 meters into point C. Almost got it all the way home. Definitely still room for Crushers to take the W here and move on to our semifinals. I'm surprised we're not seeing more Roadhog, Classy. He seems the
Look, it
super
can still
hog is so
happen.
popular, you know?
It can still happen, but listen, the momentum you can get with a high charge Zarya on a map like this is just insane. Like, yes, Aroto
Sure.
can do this, can do like the same thing consistently. He doesn't need that charge, but the bubbles are helpful. The fact that you can help your Reinhardt a lot more, you know, it's a very known like comfort tandem that you have between tanks. We have like the bunny hop mechanic where you hop in front of the other, then the one lead ups in front of you. You know, it's that partnership that's way more explored. So if these teams haven't played together before, where you don't have that coordination of like a, you know, say any team that does, that's played together for a while, you cannot really go for a lot of those type of plays because a Roadhog needs to be aware of what this Reinhardt does and vice versa, so much more than Reinhardt Zarya in a way, where the Roadhog can sometimes go more on flanks, which a Zarya would usually never do. So that relation between these two, between these players is mostly what's dictating that. But that being said, somehow there's a diva on the defense.
Virtual Doge making that swap late. We'll see if they can hightail those Russian legs back to the fight. Speed Monkey is going to opt for the Zarya as well. We're getting the double sniper from the defense. Like this look, get them positioned on the high ground, see if they can control those angles from afar. The main McCree from Peepo Hat. Trying to get an early pick, but can't quite land the mark.
So always talking about the relationship between the different parts of the composition, and double sniper with Reinhardt Zarya feels a bit disjointed. Not gonna lie.
Crab gets caught out early. No mercy, no res for the Crushers as they're trying to hold on to point A. Gabriel does manage to get a pick, but it is all people have from there as they just slowly push him back against the wall. Get off the point. We gotta get this car out of the garage, says People Hat.
Yeah, they're gonna get it as well. I mean, that was not really a challenge that they had there. The only hope that was really present on the side of Crushers here was the fact that Not So Cool and Gabriel have to hit some headshots. They have to get some picks in order to slow down that offense. Because once that Mei Reinhardt Lucio combination just starts barreling forward, there's no stopping them. The only way you stop them is by killing them. And you don't have enough time to kill them, so you need to one-shot them. And that's always saying it feels a bit disjointed, because Reinhardt Zarya aren't really the ones that kite away and keep poking at something. It's not a poke tank composition, and that's what they're trying to do with the DPS. So maybe a bit of a questionable choice, but they're still going to try here. And for now, they're holding on. The Shatter was charged up quickly, but Flashfire will still lose their knife.
Yeah, traded for the McCree. Rest of that Shatter was blocked. Oh, the Shatter from the other side without Flashfire there. That's a 5-man Shatter. Trying to counter back with the Dragons. The Crushers backing up and managed to get 2 kills out of it. The follow-up of the massive Shatter not there from Peepo Hat, as they're going to have to take another stab at this bookstore.
Virtual Doge just a heads-up play, just pressed. I mean, I think this is almost accidental. Like, they both press Q at the same time with Shatter on the grab. So no one could actually follow up on the Shatter. A, because there was a Mei wall on the way, and B, because they were stuck on the grab. So because they're a composition that kind of wants to get on top of the enemy, and they couldn't get on top of it, no follow-up was there, and now they're going to be in another stalemate where the implication matrix is going to just stop them from approaching quickly.
And it's one thing this double sniper composition will take full advantage of if you give him a chance. Breezy just found that out the hard way. Just got whittled down super low. Gabriel had landed that headshot. It would have been curtains for the Reinhardt. Said we're going to get the 5-man Blizzard. Oh my goodness. Crushers feeling the cold of King's Row right now. Virtual Doge able to strike back, and Breezy's missing from this fight. I don't know if Peepo Hat's going to be able to push it around this next corner without their Reinhardt. Well, they're going to try to nano boost Speed Monkey and see if that'll do the job. 85 charge, looking to finish off that break, but there's just too many shields, too many bubbles in the way. That nano boost is going to fade off. No value, no kills coming through from Speed Monkey. But they did get Breezy back in the fight.
It's a good rally time from Crab as well. That really stops a lot, because if that armor isn't there, maybe someone dies and it's just too much. But the shields and that armor really helped out. Now Nade Nader goes down early to Shatters. Once again, good from Flashfire.
Yeah, it got 3. But able to stave off too much follow-up. Breezy super low. Okay, nice nade there from Mazamel, able to heal up Breezy just in the nick of time. But Virtual Doge keeping so much pressure down. Now dueling Graviton surges out. It's Infinity taking on Virtual Doge. Will the window be enough? The amplification matrix does assist in a couple of kills. Not so cool when lighting up the feed, the Hanzo.
So far, great defense coming out here for Crushers. Of course, they didn't complete the map themselves, and they need to buy a lot of time to feel comfortable in the point 3. But at this rate, they're looking so good in the street space, they might not even get there. Not So Cool One has been building up dragons like there's no tomorrow. It's actually insane how, like, there were their 2 fights consecutively where he had a dragon in both. That just happened. And that's what you want from a Hanzo. You know, do a lot of spam damage, get it in there, and sometimes get a headshot, get that one shot, and through that window that was even happening.
And has already managed to get 91% towards another one. Breezy got a nano boost, ran in and got the better Flashfire immediately. Created a lot of space where people had to push forward. And you can tell they've claimed all the way through the back of point B. You got to put somebody on the cart, though. The rest of the team trying to clean off the flank as the sniper's trying to move around.
They got a team kill. They're Gucci. Don't worry. They'll make it. No one can contest this. Wait, why is Virtual Doge walking backwards? Are they actually going to try this? No, they're not. But they will have that Shatter and that Dragon get together once again. Like, they're just going to be able to pull Boomer ults out. And that was finally, once again, one of those offenses from People Hat that they were actually able to get on top of that defense quickly. So Crushers now, they have to stop them from doing it. And the only way they can is by either using an ultimate or getting pickoffs.
The Dragons over the middle, causing a lot of havoc, splitting up people had as they try to walk in. With 2 men down, they're going to try to reset. Virtua Doge chasing them right out.
Gotta watch out, though. You don't have infinite health as Zarya. You do have bubbles, though, and you're very high charge, so you want to keep up on that. And they really want that Zarya. Ooh, Speedy Monkey goes so low there. But imagine going down there, then they're having to rebuild that charge. That's a very big difference in the damage that both the teams can output.
As it stands, both support ults and Graviton Surge ready for Speedy. He's going to get the Nano Boost, drop the Graviton Surge. That's going to find 4. The Immortality Field was out. Once that went down, so did Flashfire. But DPS of Crusher striking right back. Not So Cool and just getting deep in enemy territory. Finds the kill onto Infinity before Detonator finally takes him down. Did he do enough to take the wind out of the sails of People Head on this attack? Well, they can't push forward. Looks like they're just... Yeah, a bit of a stalemate here as People Head's waiting for players.
It's really their problem. You know, once they get slowed down, they're going to be in trouble. Now they've even swapped over their Mei player to their Hanzo because they just don't seem to be able to get on top of that defense. So they really need to be able to. So far, Crusher's doing an amazing job of staving off that offense. It didn't quite work on point A, but since then, they've won way more fights than the offense has. Speedy Monkey now tries to come back in, but no Graviton ready. Breezy tries with the Shatter, but goes straight into the shields.
Follows it up with a big charge. It does take Krabby down. Follows up the kill on the Flashfire. Moves in. Speedy Monkey charge to the heavens. Is going to pick up a pair of kills as well. Make that a 3K with a little help from the McCree. And this card's pushing around the corner. 70 seconds on the clock, and they don't even have to go all the way to the back of point C.
They really don't. They have both support ultimates. Almost another grab from Speedy Monkey. Definitely coming up here on the off tank. But there is that grab from Virtual Doge. They have to touch, and they get the value. But no! They just get taken out. They do get the grab out, but it misses completely.
Yeah, grab caught. Nothing. Not So cool one did land a flurry of storm arrows. Able to find one, and Flashfire with a kill onto Dixie. Will prompt a reset here from People Hat as they try desperately to back out with 40 seconds now remaining.
Yeah, 40 seconds to go and not that much to work with. The biggest thing, though, they're going to have the combo. They're going to have the combo in the game. It's JD's Infinity and Speedy Monkey with that Graph Dragon combo. The biggest thing they can do is take out either of those players or have a great Immortality Field in just to stop that combo from happening. But it does look like that's what's going to happen. They do take Breezy, but it's a great combo. The Immortality Field, though, slaps almost all of it.
Flashfire drops as well as Krabby. But Infinity dies trying to get that those storm arrows off. And I believe we're left at the 3v3 here on the cart. Both Zaryas fairly high charge and trying to burn each other down. Mosmil doing a good job of keeping Speedy Monkey topped off, not letting him fall in that duel. But Flashfire's gonna be the first to return, throws down the Shatter, and that finds nothing. Oh, Mosmil goes down 95% to Nano. That's disastrous. Breezy suffers a similar fate. And the Crushers will hold on here. There's a little bit of cleanup left to do. They just have a Tracer and a Lucio left to deal with, and they'll move on to our semifinals.
Yeah, not able to clean them up, actually, though. So if they can get back quickly, there might be another thing going. No. That is definitely going to be over. Overtime D kicks down. The Crushers are the ones that continue. And that's already the end of the tournament here for People Hat. They're not able to progress anymore. unfortunately, we don't have a double elimination bracket. It is just the one. That means that, indeed, semifinals time for the Crushers.
And it'll be semifinals time for us here as well, as we will move on through the bracket. So we get a quick update. Not sure. All right, so we will have the Tesseracts versus the winner of Pluto the Dog and Elo Hell Space Agency. That match is currently still ongoing. As soon as we find out, we'll let you know. But y'all don't go anywhere. We'll return with the Pluto Cup Overwatch semifinals here in just a few minutes. Well, welcome back, my friends. We are here with the semifinal matchup in the Pluto Cup Overwatch tournament. We have the Tesseracts taking on Elo Hell Space Agency. To see who's going to move on to the finals. You got Bullskunk Man of Class here bringing in the action once again.
Yeah, it's going to be another one. And of course, semifinals means only one map away from that finals, potentially two maps away from the actual, grand title of the Pluto Cup. And we saw one thing here, Bullskunk in the lobby. There's like top tier analysis. Like we cannot get around this. Last match we saw the Crushers versus Peepo had. Crushers had all the same player icon. It was Brigitte's cat. It was beautiful. They all had it. They won the game. This time around, neither of the teams have all the same player icons, but McCrew on the ELO Health Space Agency does have that same player icon. Now that's got to tell you something.
Yeah, I think McCrew's got the right idea there with the Sleepy Bread Cat. Rounding out that roster, we're also going to have Sogaki on the DPS role with Dervilla and Wi-Fi is your tanks here for Elo Hill Space Agency. Ad Astra and the Calm Cellist looking to keep the team alive and standing.
Yeah,
what about
100%.
the Tesseracts here?
I mean, Tesseracts on the other side, AV and Tice going up with the DPS. They want to do the damage. They want to output something here. Well, P-Bach and Astrosign, all they want to do is keep everybody safe, keep everybody alive, make that space, but still do damage when they can, when they have the chance to. Off tanks especially can do a lot in this meta. And then you have, QWERTP? I don't know what to call it. It's almost like your top line of your keyboard, but not quite, depending on what language they're using. And then you have Huge. It's switching. Oh, they're doing it.
They're doing it.
A new meta.
Yes.
They're going with a cat. They're going with the ink. The little squid boy. It's amazing. They all have it in the lobby now. Only Tice hanging out, but it's still a lot more coordinated. So on the other side, there's the sixth one. And now we're going to see Ohio Space Agency. Can they catch up with the player icons? They're going with the Shanghai Dragons, but it's only 3 of the team, Bullskunk. It might not be enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tesseract's got the edge here, bringing out the 6 happy squids. This is what you like to see. This is certainly going to put them head and shoulders above the meme look that Space Agency has given us. It's not something I can repeat really on stream, but we'll just say they're running some Atlantic icons mixed with some Shanghai Dragon icons, getting a little meme on us there.
Yeah, maybe. It's 4v2, but that does mean that they're not quite coordinated just yet, but they are coordinated enough to at least make a pattern out of it. You have Atlantic, Shanghai Dragons, Atlantic, Shanghai Dragons. So it's a long list of them. It's 6 icons. They're definitely there, and they did make a coordinated effort. So it does mean both these teams are actually ready to coordinate, ready to get into the game. No one has the cat icon anymore, and that means all bets are off. No one knows what's going to happen here. All we know is that we've had a lot of off tanks do a lot of damage so far these days. So the DPS kind of got to step up now, don't they?
The DPS do need to step up as we're headed to Volskaya Industries for this map. It is a best of 1 here in the semifinals with Lijiang Tower as a tiebreaker if necessary. But we got to get through the cold of Russia before we get there. And as you're talking about with back to the tank rolls, we've seen both of these teams have gold SR tanks, but high masters and GM off tanks. I'm anxious to see how that plays out here as we head to Volskaya.
Yeah, of course, we've seen a lot of Zarya already today. Could be maybe seeing some Roadhog. It can definitely happen, but one thing I'm fairly certain we're not going to see is D.Va. It's a great hero. She's had a lot of great moments in Overwatch, but it's just not her time right now. She doesn't put out that same amount of damage, doesn't provide the same amount of protection with the threat that's really coming back, because when anything jumps in your backline, when anything rushes into your backline, D.Va can only save you for like a little bit, and then doesn't have that burst to like deter anything a lot of the time. She has a lot of mobility, she has a lot of health, but there's just something missing there that doesn't quite threaten the other team enough to deter them from doing anything. And Zarya, Roadhog, they have that high damage output and relocation CC shielding threat that you don't get from a lot of other tanks. So they're really prominent in the meta right now. So far, we've only seen a Zarya on the stream right here in the playoffs, but might very well be seeing some more Roadhog later on. For now, though, it's going to be Volskaya first, and not a particularly amazing Roadhog map, but I'm always happy to be surprised.
Yeah, we've seen stranger things, and like you
Yes,
say,
yes. I've seen the
Diva.
series. It's true. Yeah, all the episodes. Yeah. Yeah.
We have seen the series Stranger Things. Just wanted to put that out there. No relation to anything else
Yeah.
that we're
I actually
talking about.
haven't. Like, I'm just joking. I actually haven't seen the series, so
It's a
maybe
good
if someone says
series.
it's great, I might.
Yeah,
You know what? There's
you're
a
getting
lot of
booed by
content
our
out there.
producer
You
right
know,
now.
it's what happens. You know, I've been trying to catch up on Critical Role. I got to episode 90 in a month and a half. I think I deserve some credit. But right now,
That's a lot of
going
episodes.
we're going into Volskaya Industries. Tesseract starting here on the defense. Looks like they are looking to run out here with the Reinhardt Zarya on defense. It is something we've just been seeing already. I would say we've been seeing it all night, but we see literally one map so far. But it's fairly accepted that this is going to be sort of the standard tournament meta, as we call it sometimes, where in this event this is what they'll run, and then when you watch like trials of the cup coming week, it will be completely different again. So it's a good one. It's a fun one. But they're running it with the Ashe and the Hun Zone. We saw this before, where Thijs and Ave really need to find value from that poke, find value from that damage, because if they can't, their tanks will just be overrun. They will not be able to stand up against a more rushy, closer range composition that might be coming out from the other side. And it looks like we're seeing it, Wolfskunk. It might actually be Roadhog Zarya. It's happening. Off-tank meta.
We are getting the 600-pound hog out on the field. Pure off tanks from the offense as they're looking to push through here. Volskaya. Sukaki coming out with the Torbjorn, immediately drops the overload, throwing those nails down range, but eats a lot of damage, and a dynamite kind of forced to back out. Right now, it's just Space Agency poking and prodding around the front door. Ooh, nice headshot onto a Sofferson. Might open this thing up. Huge goes down as well.
I love this. I just love the aggression that they're portraying because they know they have more damage. They don't have as many shields, so they have to play a little careful, and you can see it straight away. Sukaki going down there, but it's not enough. Everything just gets cleaned up here because there's so much damage.
Sukaki became the sacrificial Torb of that push. Yep. He was sacrificed to the gods of Volskaya there for Space Agency to get point A.
Fine. Yeah, and look at the ult track as well. You can see there's more consistency across the board that has charged up ultimates on the side of Edelhell Space Agency. Tesseract, only the Ashe of Avi and QWERTP actually got anything going up there with that Ashe Mercy combination. Maybe huge with the nano boost, but they're very low on everything else.
I'm just going to go with Q for that Mercy player. We're just going to keep it simple. We'll just go with Q. We did have ties coming out with the
but I guess, yeah.
Yeah. I'm down with that. Hey, you do you, my friend. You do you. But yeah, like I was saying, ties on the McCree. The Sofferson finds a nice hook on the Mercy. Gonna send Space Agency back to spawn for a bit of a reset. They'll be coming back with some ultimates here, Classy, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're looking at already, right? Their entire ult bank was going to be full after this fight, almost full. Their Villa has not really put out that much damage, because, of course, haven't really been able to get close enough to really do anything. They just died to that Makaru, Sokaki, and Calm Cellist combo. Maybe Wi-Fi with a hook here and there, but they have plenty to work with. And I really like the Ashe Mercy dynamics that both teams have going. Damage boost that Ashe, get the one-shots on every squishy. It's exactly what you want. But there's, Flank Hog. It's Flank Hog.
He's emerging from the side, gets the hook onto the Tor, but
awesome
one able to drop that extra armor, force back the Hog. The Sofferson took a lot of damage. Is now super low, gets taken out. Dervilla showing up in that feed. Wi-Fi gets the nano boost, drops the Hog. Here comes the big Omnic Butler onto the point. And this is disastrous for the defense of the Tesseracts.
It's just over. I mean, can they even touch with that Wrecking Ball? I think the Wrecking Ball might be able to... Nope, gets hooked in spawn. It's gonna be huge on that Ana, make a huge comeback on the point, but will just get taken out by a huge shot from the crew, and they're just free. They're just firing, they're just cleaning up. 4 minutes, 8 seconds on the clock. That's a very decent time on Volskaya.
Oh yeah, you finished Volskaya with more time than you started with. That's always a good sign. Always a good sign. And now, Space Agency in a strong position to move on to the finals if they can hold off Tesseracts, or even at the very least keep them to a more reasonable time mech.
Yeah, and I said it before. I really like the approach that they're taking with that double off tank, and then also with Conchelas and McCrew on that Ashe and that Mercy. And if you've got the players for it, if you feel comfortable, then why not run it? It's looking to be a very good combination of tanks and supports right now, and DPS with that. And now the defense at Torbjorn and at Ashe are going to get even more like easy spam damage out. So I'm really going to be curious to see what's going to happen when Peach might actually run out on this Winston, because I don't think they're going to be able to get on top of anybody. They just get exploded, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to just get hooked and exploded. I will say my OCD is a little unhappy that McCrew is not on the McCree. I was so hoping.
I know. It's but it's McCrew, so like they're trying to bait you into thinking it, but that's not actually the name, so it's word association, I guess, but you know what? It's fine. It's like,
hey, the Ashe is working. I can't blame them.
Look, it's close enough, right? If it's Widowmaker, it would really be weird. But Ashe and McCree, at least, they worked and potentially like live together and stuff. They have a bond, they have a connection. There's lore there, so
they're both Southern shooters.
Fine. Exactly.
They enjoy apple pie and drinking coffee.
They were part of the Deadlock gang. We don't know if Ashe enjoys apple pie. Maybe she's allergic. Let's not dig too deep into that one.
Oh, speaking of digging deep, Eva gets taken out early. Rez is there. Wi-Fi is going to win the battle of the Hogs. And just send him a right back spot. McCrew gets rezzed up, and Evie's still just clicking heads. McCrew answering back, and it's the battle of the Ashes. Both of the Southern Bells lighting up the feed. Peach trying to go in and do Winston things, but there was just no targets to be found.
So far, a good start in the defense. You see McCrew already on 76%, 80, 90. You can't keep up. There's still a lot of damage. This really looks to be the carry of the team right now. Just hitting so many shots. So much value out of that damage boost, too. It's just insane.
Yeah, now the big Omnic Butler is ready to throw onto the field. Tice made the swap over to the Genji. Immediately taking a little power nap here. Gonna need that push on to Volskaya. Bob's coming out early and takes out Huge. Ana down. Valkyrie used from the Tesseract to try to push in. But Bob did things. Bob did big things indeed. Finding a pair of kills as McCrew continues to lay waste to the attacking Tesseracts.
And there is some sort of method, like there is an idea behind what they're trying to do with this Genji Winston, but they're just not executing it in a way that it actually will work. The Genji and the Winston are going in a disjointed way. You see it straight away. McCrew is free on the high ground, not challenged at all. Now I think Tice wants to, but you're too far away. What are you gonna do? Try and dash in? She just coach guns you off.
Oh, and I don't know if Peach was trying to get to the high ground, but that's what it looked like to me and missed that jump. So Conky comes in with the hammer kill, laying the hammer down. Huge cannot stay in this fight for more than a couple seconds before getting sent back to spawn over and over again. But
you get smacked into spawn, sent back. It's honestly, yeah, it's looking pretty bad. Like P-back and Tice. Like that dive combination, like again, it can definitely work, but you need to cut off something. You need to cut off Adastra or Sokaki or McCrew. You need to cut off from the rest of the team so they can't get healed, and then sort of try and pounce on it and distract them. But they're not even getting close to that point where they can actually do it. Look at this. Just the hook, whole hog, back into spawn you go.
The beautiful anti-nade from Adastra as well to deny the heals from the take a breather. Made for just easy pickings there for Wi-Fi. Yeah, apologies for calling P-Bach Peach there earlier. For some reason, my brain interpreted that B as
the same.
E.
I mean, it's a super normal word association, right? Like it's a P-B-A-C-H. It's almost an E. Like you're just missing two tiny erased things.
Yes.
It's almost an E. It's a B. It's almost an E.
And Tesseract's just struggling to get into this front door. If they manage to get past Wi-Fi, you've got McCrew waiting for him with the Viber. Now
Yeah.
the Zaryas are getting into the mix. A little Zarya duel here in their hometown. I like to think that they just kind of went off in their own corner and had an honorable duel. Dervila won the arm wrestle there.
Wow, it's gonna be an aggressive jump from the Winston, but you just jump in, and now what are you gonna do? You're gonna be stuck there, P-Bach. They can just spam you down from range. Eevee already gone on your front back line. It's a Nano Blade though that can do a lot of damage, but he's just stuck in a grab.
Stuck in a grab!
Yeah, they just counter grab the Nano Genji. It's 1 for 2 ultimates, easy trade.
Coalescence coming out on the point, trying to make something happen in the dwindling seconds, but Space Agency not going anywhere. They have built their home on Volskaya and will move on to the finals as they will face the Crushers on Eichenwald to see who will take all the marbles of Pluto Cup. Who's going to take home all the meteorites?
It was looking like straight away they run out with that Hog Zarya. Then you know these people have been thinking about it, you know? Like, Ryan Zarya is good, don't get me wrong. But like you said, Hog just shreds down a Reinhardt shield. So if you have Roadhog and then an Asher or Hanzo or something like that that helps with spamming down that shield, then the Reinhardt just stands there without being a shield bot, and then it's just an armor suit of armor that just gets shut down. So you need something that either does the same amount of damage back, or you need even more barriers, or like there's a lot of things you can do, or more mobility, but there's just what Tesseracts were trying to do was setting up the heroes, but not setting up the heroes for what they wanted to do with them, or they didn't understand what to do with them. There was something that was sort of disconnected there. So if they're ever going to play together again, that's something to look at. But of course, we're in the Pluto Cup. There's a very slim chance of that actually happening. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But maybe the players will learn something from it. You know, it's like, oh, so this doesn't work. Or it does, but not in the way we did it. It's something, you know. And if you're looking at this, you're thinking, oh, so why didn't it work? Well, if you run dive characters, but then you don't actually make an execution on your dive, then you'll just die. There's more to it, obviously, but we're not gonna bore you with that. We're gonna throw it to a quick break.
We'll be back with the finals. Crushers taking on Space Agency for all the meteorites here in the Pluto Cup Overwatch tournament. Y'all don't go away. We'll return in just a few. And we're back. We are here with the grand finals for the Pluto Cup Overwatch tournament. My name is Bull Skunk. I got reporting live from Iraq. Man of class. Don't play in traffic there. It's Egypt. It is Egypt. Excuse me.
Actually, I think it actually is. It's Afghanistan. It's definitely not Egypt. I know that much.
I could have swore this was in Iraq.
Yeah, it's either Iraq or Afghanistan. I think it's either of those. But you know what? Let's just Google it real quick if we got the time. No, we got a match. We got a I know, right? We got a matchup between the EHE Space Agency and the Crushers. And the one thing we know about both of these teams is that EHE Space Agency is going to be more coordinated with their player icons. We talked about it before. The Crushers, they all have that cat icon. That's great. Y'all all the same icon. But EHE Space Agency does that next level where two of them don't have the same icon, but it's coordinated in such a way that it still makes sense as like a coherent unit. So, you know what? I'm impressed.
It's the Atlantic, Shanghai, Atlantic, Shanghai. I'll let you all figure it out from there. What's Briggs Cat's name? I forget what. I know Briggs Cat has a name. I can't think of Briggs Cat's name. It's bugging me now. It's bugging me. But we did get important confirmation. Oasis is in Iraq.
I thought so. Yeah, I thought it was what it was, but
I'm not
entirely sure anymore.
Mitzi, boom, our producer, Knight of Knee coming through with the big brain info. I like it.
Also told us that Bullskunk was right, and Oasis is in Iraq. So you know, it's.
I will relish in that. It's not very often I hear those magical words. So you know, I'll take it. I take it. You know, you take it where you can get them, right?
Exactly.
You take those.
we have two teams. The thing is, we saw both these teams before, so we could tell you all about the rosters, but it's just the same people again. So why would we? Instead, we're gonna talk about the one difference that we do see here, and it's that we have a different map. It's gonna be Eichenwald.
It is going to be Eichenwald. We're going to head to Germany for our one and done map here for the finals. It is, once again, a best of one with Lijiang Tower as a possible tiebreaker if necessary. Do you think we're going to see more of the Ryan Zarya here as we head into Eichenwald? I think this would be a
No, no, no,
great
no.
map to
I
bring
think
out
we're
those
gonna see
double
him.
off tanks.
We're gonna see, yeah, exactly. We're gonna see the matchup between because I do think the Crushers might still want to go for it. But the EHC Space Agency, they already showed that they don't. So they're
Right.
gonna go with the Roadhog Zarya. I mean, I'm not like, guaranteeing you it, but I'm pretty sure they probably will because it was working for them. They can still use that Ashe and Torbjorn here as well. Works pretty well on Eichenwald for at least the first point. Second point, maybe the Torbjorn falls off a little bit, but that Ashe and Mercy combo has just been so good that I might not even have to worry about what Savaki's doing. Just gonna be McCrew and Calm Chalice just flying around the map together and just killing everything.
We'll see if Crushers let that happen. I'm sure they have other things in mind, as they were showing us the Ryan Zarya there in the quarterfinals before. If they go up against the Hog Zarya combo, though, they're going to have to change that up. We keep talking about that Ryan shield just as it's a thin sheet of paper. It's like tissue paper up against that scrap gun of
It
Roadhog.
really is. Yeah. Yeah, and so far, it's just it's been the Crushers that so for me, it really looked like the Crushers had a very good, team coherence going on where
Mhm.
they consistently, they rotated ultimates, etc. And EHC Space Agency, there was still a lot of individual play coming out. That's not meaning that they don't have coordination, it's just that they didn't really seem like they had to rely on it so far. So when we see these teams face up, it's really going to be important for EHC Space Agency to potentially show us that coordination and the Crushers to hold on to the coordination to allow each other to match up with their counterparts on the other side. So DPS actually being able to shoot a DPS and not just being caught off guard, tanks being able to make and create and keep space, and the supports not getting pressured out because of power plays on the other side. So we'll see if that exactly will come out in a little bit. Right now, though, gonna go into the map of Eichenwald. Heroes are being assembled, and then we're gonna go out the doors and see what they run out with.
If you keeping a sharp eye on McCrew versus Not So Cool One here in this matchup. Space Agency
Yeah.
take it to the defense to start things off. Still have a little bit of time to decide, but showing us that Roadhog Zarya right out of the gate as we are knee deep in the Super Hog meta.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love seeing it, honestly. And Wi-Fi and their Villa, they were showing up. I mean, a lot of what we talked about was about what McCrew was doing together with Calm Chalice, on that damage boosted Ashe, just shredding the enemy team where it felt like the rest of the team wasn't really necessary anymore. They didn't solo carry, but they definitely got so much damage done that it made it very easy for the rest of their team to finish targets off. Now, we will see the attack potentially run out with well, the same thing they did last time. Not so cool one might be on the Reaper instead, not so much long range. But yeah, flash fire on the Reinhardt, virtual dodge on the Zarya. We've seen them do it before. It was very successful then. Let's see what they can do with it now.
Now, Reaper could be a good counter to the Hog. We saw Reaper come out in an amazing reverse sweep in the Contenders finals. And the Reaper proved very valuable in that matchup, though, a bit of a different look and not to mention a different meta. You're going to have Wi-Fi going in deep
as well.
Yeah, there's that. Hey, it worked for him there. Not so cool when just taking dual shotguns to the face of Wi-Fi. Dravilla falls as well. No more tanks left for the defense. And Space Agency, well, heading right back to spawn. They need to regroup a little bit on that space station.
Yeah, so far the rocket's not quite taken off for them, but it's going to be not so cool on. I mean, they might not be so cool, but they definitely have the shotguns to take out that edge. So far, McCrew hasn't been doing so much because, of course, they've just been run over by the enemy team. But now they're going to be on high ground. This is far harder for that Reaper to get into and actually get that value. And already, not so cool one down.
Yeah, immediately your point is proven by the defense. McCrew throwing in a very nice TNT and watching that ult charge just skyrocket. 70%, doubling what they had when the gates opened in a very short amount of time. Ad Astra, the damage boosted Ana coming through with the second kill of this engagement, and two very important kills at that. Falls in with a nice ante on a not so cool one, though. Not so cool one getting the better end of that Roadhog once again.
Yeah, it's looking like Wi-Fi. I mean, they're gonna have to come back from spawn here, but they're still gonna be ready. Not so cool one found a fun angle though. Has to now try and get behind the enemy team still. Has a teleport and wraith form still ready, but their Villa already falling. Not a great start here. No tanks are live. Wi-Fi just comes back in time.
McCrew gonna need to find some heads here. Oh no, Mello! Mello goes down. Death Blossom comes out from the attacking team to try to counter back. Finds two before McCrew lands the Viper shots. Looks like do have a Bob out there trying to hold down the fort, hold down the cart. Gavilla just backing him up a little bit. And it's a conservative push from the defense, but they're doing a good job of holding ground. Now the Nano Boost onto the Reinhardt. Oh no, he was slept! Don't wake up the nanoed ride. Disastrous. And McCrew falls under the weight of that hammer.
Yeah, it's looking pretty tough here to hold this attack off, but Sovaki says no. Just says, you know what? I can triple kill with a tire. I can play the Junkrat, and we're just gonna beat your ass. It's gonna be amazing to see this. Amazing. Sokaki on that Junkrat.
Yeah, 3 ultimates come out from the Crushers, and they think that they're winning the fight, get the cart moving a little bit, and then just the solo tire from Sokaki equalizes with just a blink of an eye.
Great job so far. Sokaki now, I mean, there's still plenty of time left, don't get me wrong, but all that Roadhog is ready. Whole hog into a small area. That's exactly where you want it, but Sokaki goes down to the Echo. That's not what you want to see. That's your Junkrat that did so much in that last fight.
Now the Graviton Surge invested from Space Agency. Doesn't look like a whole lot of follow-up down there, though. Villa is trying to find it, but put themselves in a very dangerous position. Ends up going down. The focusing beam... too much from Gabriel and Virtual Doge in there with a big old beam of their own. 100 charge Zarya holding down the doors.
Wi-Fi just got triple stunned and slept and everything. It was not a fun time to be a Roadhog there. And he's going to keep going forward here. McCrew taken out late by Virtual Doge. Does get rest here. So there is an opportunity to start defending early, but 4 minutes left into this last stage. It's a lot of time you have to hold here if you're Elo Hell Space Agency.
And Wi-Fi forgoing the Roadhog, pulls out the Reinhardt, immediately gets to the Nano Boost, trying to put pressure down onto Flashy Fire. Doesn't want to overextend, anti-nade onto Wi-Fi. Means they can't really push any further than that close corner. Got to stay behind the safety. So Kaki coming up with an early kill. I guess first kill of this engagement. And both teams just kind of sitting back and waiting for the other team to do something.
Yeah,
I think
they're waiting.
both teams are just scared to make a mistake, it looks like right now, Classy.
I felt like Virtual Doge was just saying, like, guys, I'm so close to my graph, let's just charge that and then go in. Like, they're close to a lot of ultimates, so they just wanted to play it slow, get those online, and then go, because they know they have the advantage. You know, so Kaki just switched back over to Torbjorn, Wi-Fi back over to Reinhardt. Like, there's a lot of ult charge missing, so they feel like they could definitely go in on that. But now... And now the ultimates are starting to come online for the defense, and you're taking a bit of time off without doing anything. 3 minutes to go. Still plenty of time, but a Shatter is good.
Yeah, Shatter found 2. The follow-up there. No, it does not look like it. In fact, it's Virtual Doge finding the kill. Bob thrown in from the defense. He won't last long. Easily dealt with it. A 2-kill fire strike from Flash Fire, living up to his namesake. Here on the back of Eichenwald. Another Nano Boost onto Wi-Fi. He's already halfway to another Earth Shatter. The tank line from Space Agency coming up with a pair of kills to try to stave off this assault. Not so cool one with Attack Visor on the high ground, looking to clean things up on the back end. Grab eats an anti and goes down. I don't know if Crushers have enough gas in the tank to finish this thing off. Molten Core will be the final nail in the coffin of that assault.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you think it's that easy. You know, sometimes you think Eichenwald, oh, it's a payload. It's like a roller coaster. Just got to ride it. But unfortunately, that's not always how it goes. Defense holding on fairly well there. Wi-Fi, you know, to back off, get that Nano Boost, and then start smacking things away. And now you look at the ultimate situation. They use so much thinking they could push it in. It's only going to be Gabriel and Flashfire that will have close to being online. But this defense is looking pretty stacked quite soon.
Yeah, well, a couple of tank ultimates ready to go. The Nano Boost coming online for Space Agency as well. Duplicate out onto the Zarya. As Crushers will look to push in. The Shatter from the defense only got 1, and now they're going to throw the Graviton Surge in to try to clean up the rest. They do manage to get Gabriel out of that duplicate form without too much damage being caused, but then Gabriel strikes right back. Goes back to Echo form, now is 1 health. Has got to get away. Somehow Gabriel survives that onslaught, but the defense holds on with a $1:15 left on the clock.
1 minute and 10 seconds to go, and so far, the defense has started to hold. I mean, we know this is a thing. You know, after momentum, you have to break it at some point, and then you just keep on holding forever until that last minute goes down. And now, it's going to be not so cool one on that Junkrat. They're looking towards him with that, with almost having that tire ready. We saw what Sokaki could do with it earlier. You're going to need a big tire to push this one in.
They're going to have to get past the DPS Ultimates of Space Agency as well. Area denying ults. The big YOLO charge. Actually, a kind of a kidnap charge. Back the other way. There's Flashfire. Followed with a giant charge of their own. Does eventually go down. 2v2 on the point. Make that, excuse me, it's two players missing on the point. The tire does come in and find a pair as well, speaking of twos. Gabriel finding a pair. That's 2 kills, 2 kills, and 2 kills. My OCD is very happy right now. Molten Core coming out onto the point to try to stall this thing out, but it looks to be a lone effort from Sokaki. The rest of the defense has got to get out of your touch.
It does slow them down a little bit. They couldn't just walk forward and start spamming into spawn door. Not so cool, and actually goes down to Sokaki. This is a good start. It means there's a lot of damage gone.
Oh, and a huge anti onto Krabby's followed up by Dravilla. And the gas definitely running out of Crusher's take. Here's the overtime when Wick starts to burn. They're not going to quite finish Eichenwald, but they got it really close there, Classy.
And if you're Crushers, you're not going to be too worried. You saw it in your quarterfinal match. You didn't complete King's Row. You still held it. You still won the map. So they're pretty comfortable with the situation, I'm assuming. And now when they can go into their own defense, and you saw Not So Cool One's Junkrat work, might be a thing to just keep on going. Keep the good times going.
Keep the good times rolling indeed. That's what Pluto Cup is all about. We're out here having a good time, enjoying us some competitive Overwatch. It's been a blast. I can't believe we're already in our final match of the day. We'll see if Crusher's Assault will be enough for them to claim the crown here in the grand finals. They're going to take to the defense. Looks like they're bringing us the Ryan Zarya once again.
Yeah, Reinhardt, Zarya. I mean, is there a more classic duo? Again, we've
Certainly
talked
not.
about it so many times. It really hasn't. But I will say, I really think Wi-Fi stepped it up from the last performance. We were talking up McCrew a lot with that Mercy damage boost. But of course, if you can't really find those angles a lot of the time because they're just either in your face or there's a shield in the way, you gotta find something else to really pop out with. And Wi-Fi switching over to that Reinhardt was really a breath of fresh air that just made that defense happen in the first place. Without that Reinhardt swap and those nano boosts from Adastra, Wi-Fi is not able to stop anything there, and there might just be 3 points and like 4 minutes on the clock right now.
It was a fantastic hold at point 3 to whittle down that massive time bank Crushers entered into the castle with. See if Space Agency can keep the momentum going, propel themselves into space indeed, and above the rest of the competition. No changes from their DPS line. Keeping the Torbjorn on attack. It's an interesting pick there, Classic.
Well, they have just been doing work on the Torbjorn, and we saw how good they were on Volskaya. They've been doing on the defense here as well. It's definitely like a questionable pick. It's just one of those, if you're comfortable on it, run it, especially in a tournament like this. But so far, everything's going the way of the Crushers.
Yeah, I think Space Agency got a little bit disjointed as Wi-Fi pushed into the small mini room, kind of on a lone wolf effort, gets burned down by the 100 charge virtual Doge.
I think you're really talking about Not So Cool One. You talk about a Junkrat difference. You talk about all that extra spam and CC that comes into you. They have switched Sokaki over to the Mei now. Want to try and use that wall to get some entry here and then deny the defense. But so far, that wall just being used for zoning.
Yeah, it comes out very early in the fight. Did buy a little bit of room here, but now the tire comes through from the other side and finds 3! Half the team in tatters underneath the rep tire of Not So Cool One. He may not be such a cool one, but his tires are absolutely epic.
McCrew was ready for it as well. They knew like, oh, so the Not So Cool One is behind that tower there. They're right there. Definitely possible to just shoot it straight away. But it exploded before they even saw it. It was so quick.
It is definitely the Junkrat difference that you were speaking of just moments before. But now, Space Agency coming back with 2 support ults. They'll have Earth Shatter and the big Omnic Butler to throw on to the point. Big anti-sleep onto Flashfire, who does get nano, but isn't able to push in due to that fantastic anti-nade from Ad Astra. Gabriel goes down and Bob onto the point. 7v5 favoring the Space Agency, and 2 more kills here for the attacking team. Now pushing onto the objective, looking to clean up Flashfire and the remaining defense.
Yeah, nice crossfire set up there from a crew as well. Bob on one side, the rest of the team goes on the other side of that tower and then just overwhelms them. They weren't quite as fast as Crushers were, but all they need is to get to the end of the map, right? Like, they don't actually need to get there with five minutes left. It's not important. It's all about the fact getting there. And more time does mean you have more time to make some mistakes. But so far, they're looking okay on the attack. It's not been amazing, but they got past that first hurdle of dealing with the Junkrat and that choke.
Amazing! Speaking of, we are going to have Blizzard coming online, as well as both of those tank ultimates. Wi-Fi able to keep that Earth Shatter. Gonna go ahead and let her rip onto Mello, gets the kill out of the Ana, priority pick down, follows it up with a great pin onto Virtual Doja as well, as Crushers kind of got separated. Remember, stuck on the high ground, overwhelmed by Space Agency. And
Wi-Fi once again just comes in on that Reinhardt, comes in clutch. Just beautifully done. Walks up to the high ground with Calm Cellist. They speed boost them up there, meaning that there's no time to react, and they just get the value out of that Shatter straight away on that bridge. And now they're going to try and stagger some members. No, they don't want another defense. They just want to push this card straight into B.
But we're going to get the Graviton Surge. Tire available as well. Not so coincides to pull the trigger. In fact, is not, and it's going to be a 3v2 trade favoring the attacking team. Okay, here comes Not So Cool One, lands on the cart, rips the tire, and takes out post support.
Not again, So Cool. Oh, it's
the DPS are going to push this thing in, though. Okay,
no, they're not. The respawns are in
time.
The respawns are in time. That tire changes everything. I mean, with the tanks down from that grab, it was already going to be rough, but that tire just... You know, how does he just jump in there and get that double kill? Like, there's so much time that goes on there before that tire actually goes off.
Descending from the heavens. I mean, just fell out of the sky onto the cart.
I mean, they'll have the Graviton Shatter and the Bob. Now they should be able to push it in with those ultimates, but it's an extra 2 minutes. It's off the clock now that maybe wouldn't have been otherwise. An extra minute, really.
Sakaki trying to flank around. Didn't like that angle. And Astra finds the pick on it. Not So Cool One, finding a little revenge from that previous fight. Earth Shatter from the defense is blocked, and the counter Shatter much better. Finds 2, and Bob is invested from the defense to try to stave off the assault.
It's working.
Bob's doing some work as well. Bob did something. As McCrew's Bob got knocked into the oblivion. It was Gabriel's Bob finding the kills.
Neither team actually able to get on top of the other one to actually do the follow-up to those CC ultimates. The Shatter, the Graph, they both didn't really get anything to follow up on them. Now we will see both support ultimates ready, especially that Sound Barrier can be huge against anything, but Not So Cool. And once again, overextends, falls in that little room on the side.
Great catch from Space Agency to acknowledge, to recognize the overextension. An anti-Reinhardt runs in. Wi-Fi able to find, Flashfire able to find 2 with that. Gabriel there to follow up. Not So Cool One returning into the fight just in time to get a pair of kills of his own. And now there's less than 60 seconds on the clock.
Wi-Fi countercharging there really is a problem because, yes, you got charged into your own team, but that's where you want that Reinhardt to be. You want us to be able to spec him together, especially with that beautiful anti-nade from Ad Astra. And then Wi-Fi just charges to the other side of the map. No more shield, no more protection. And all the damage is just poured into the side of Elo Hell Space Agency that are far more clustered together than anything on the side of Crushers.
Yeah, Dravilla was like, no, wait, I was shooting Flashfire. Bring him back. Oh, huge ante.
Oh,
9-4. My goodness, what a shot from Ad Astra. Oh, but the tire again. Not So Cool One, time and tire again. Is gonna just take down half of Space Agency. A Desperation Molten Core with just 8 seconds on the clock. Not gonna find anything. Does a bit of damage, but no final blows.
Maybe that ball. Nope.
Gets pulled off by
they
the
almost pull him back on.
Pull
him back on the card. Yeah. I mean, the one time they don't kill Not So Cool One early, he just wins the fight.
Comes back to bite him.
He got nothing but, like, the least kills he got with a tire was 2. It was a 3 kill every single other time. It's this one. You see, like, right around the corner, just boom, straight away. You couldn't even see it. Like, yeah, insane. Not So Cool One just It was a Junkrat difference. I mean, I said it in the game. It's just true. It's a Junkrat difference. That's just what you win games with, apparently. But yeah, I mean, Crushers just showing that cats are more important than dragons and Atlantic.
That's what I'm taking away from this series as well. The Crushers indeed living up to their namesake and crushing the opposition here in the Pluto Cup. Not so cool one is, well, it gets my MVP. It gets my vote. It was the tires turning the tide every time to keep the alliteration going. But
Honestly,
we're
it's
all
been a night.
it's been a
Been a
night.
night.
We're all
Yeah.
done for the Overwatch tournament in Pluto Cup, but Pluto Cup will return tomorrow with a Valorant tournament, so y'all keep your eyes out for that. Sure to be just as much fun. I know I'll be in chat hanging out, rooting people on. Y'all don't forget to join the Discord as well. Participate in awesome tournaments like this one. Hop in on some pugs if you're feeling. You got pugs for console, pugs for PC. Just a lot of good competitive action going on. Hang out with some like-minded gamers. Go join that Discord. Be sure to follow us on the Twitters. Classy, you got any closing thoughts here before we sit at home?
I don't know. I think we've seen games, seen players. You know, if they have never been
True
casted
words.
before, this is their first time as well. And yeah, there's probably going to be more of this. Of course, tomorrow Valorant, and we're already EU today. Tomorrow it's Valorant EU and NA, so it's not just same time. So whenever you wake up, there's probably going to be something on. That's at least we can promise you.
We hope to see y'all then. I guess we'll go ahead and say goodnight. Y'all remember to look out for each other in game and out. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.